Ladies and gentlemen, without further introduction, you already know why you're here. You got Diehard Knicks podcast, Eru, and you got my man State of the New York Knicks podcast.
Yes, sir.
What's good, guys? How's everything going?
Regular. ain't ain't no Knicks games on, man. So
Yeah,
we gotta come up with something, man.
yeah. All we got is us now, man.
Yes, sir.
For me, the season's over. I think like the NBA season is just over. I don't care about the playoffs. I know you were talking about the Atlanta Hawks game, whatever. I didn't even look at it. So now I'm looking at the box score and stuff like that. I'm like a box score warrior right now, looking at it. But I don't really care too much about the NBA outside of the Knicks.
That's a true diehard fan right
Yeah.
there.
So you still follow the league?
Yeah. Hell yeah. All year round, 24/7.
So is it more like for the love of the game or just for scouting purposes?
For the love of the game. Something I picked up when I was younger. Cause when I was younger growing up, like you're not really a diehard fan unless you was born in it. And I wasn't born in the Knicks fandom. I was just born in the sports. Like when I was growing up, my cousin used to force me to watch Raven football games. So then after that, he used to force me to watch Knick games, Bulls games, anything that was on ESPN that's like sports. He used to force me to watch it. So that's how like I've grown accustomed to like watching damn near every team, and for scouting purposes, for sure, and for
Yeah.
scouting purposes.
If for me, man, growing up, I used to like the different characters and stuff, but like nowadays, like the characters are just not the same. It's like
No.
wrestling, you know what I'm saying? Back in the days, they had Hulk Hogan and all them cats, you know what I'm saying? So you would watch them, and then the Attitude Era when Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock and those guys was doing their thing. So you kind of just watching the characters. Nowadays, I feel like the characters are just not the same, man. So I can't
Nah,
really get into it.
nah, they're definitely not the same. The NBA ain't the same neither. It's soft. It's soft. It's soft.
Yeah, I was trying to get home today to talk about something, man, but I have to say that for another day. But yo, somebody brought this to my attention, man. I know you know what I was gonna talk about, right?
Uh,
Yeah, but let me throw this out there.
mm-hmm.
Add this to the screen. This is from Only Facts on Twitter. He asked a question. How far would the Knicks go if they had a Holiday in Middleton?
Ooh, I seen that question. Matter of fact, and that's funny.
Yeah.
And was RJ not included in that? So that's basically a starting five with Drew, RJ, Middleton, and Randall.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. Just adding
Ooh.
adding them to the roster, without deleting anybody. Just adding
Mm,
them to the roster. How far
mm,
would they go?
wow. Um. Wow.
Well, my,
That's
my
tough.
response was that they still will be playing.
that
Absolutely.
that one. That's tough. That's a good one. That's tough. Um. Damn. I think Eastern Conference Finals. Um. If an injury occurs, I think we could get to the finals. That's a nice little call, but that's not a championship call. It's a nice call.
Could that team beat Philly right now? Because instead of Atlanta, I think we would have beat Atlanta with this roster. But could that team beat the Sixers?
They'll give them a run for their money. I ain't gonna say they'll beat them, but they'll definitely give them a run for their money because we match up well
Right.
outside of Embiid because nobody matches up with Embiid, but outside
Yeah.
of him, I think we match up very well.
We would have had Mitchell Robinson too for that second round.
Yes. Oh man, yo, I miss Mitchell Robinson, man. Shout outs to Mitch, man. Can we talk about Mitch real quick before we get into these free agent acquisitions? Because I feel like we never really talked about Mitch.
Yeah, we could talk about him. He want to be talked about too, man. You see him making all those Instagram and Twitter posts and stuff. He missed being out there.
Nah, he do, man. I miss him too. Noted when he went down, I think we was top 5 in the NBA in offensive rebounds. I think we was top 5 in the NBA in total rebounds, defensive rebounds as well. I think he was like top 3 in offensive rebound rate. So, Mitch used to clean up a lot of those mistakes that Alfred Payton or Randall or RJ or Bullock used to give up. Those same mistakes, Nerlens doesn't do the same things. He's not active like that. So it's tough. And then, you see people we talking about Julius Randle contract and how players around the league is going to look at the Knicks and how they treat their players. I'm looking at Julius Randle I'm looking at Mitchell Robinson to see how the Knicks going to treat him. And how does Mitchell Robinson look at the situation? Because let me shoot this question at you. Do the agent, he had a bunch of agents. I think he had about like 5, 6. Is that alarming to you as far as his contract negotiations is concerned?
Well, something's wrong with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if it's personality or what's going on with that cat. He is goofy, man. You see him on social media posting whatever he posts and stuff. All these cryptic and like dramatic posts and stuff, just trying to get attention and whatever. So, that's to me that's alarming. This is annoying. You know what I'm saying? Because it's different. This is the Twitter age where guys feel like they got to post everything, man. So, it's a little annoying to see it. So that is an alarm for me. Yeah, for like contract negotiations, man. Like so far, he hasn't really done much. Statistically wise, like it's like all of our young guys. We want them to be a certain way. You know what I'm saying? We want them to be like we want them to be special. You know what I'm saying? Like Mitchell Robinson, we want him to get the blocks. I remember the first year they were talking about getting him. He was going to get 5 blocks a year. You know what I'm saying? That came back down to earth because he went. Now he's back up to what is it? 1 now.
1.5. I think he averaged 1.5 last season.
Yeah, 1.5, and he played 27 minutes, man. So he came back down to earth with that. The rebounding is getting a little bit better, but it's still not elite level. It's still 8. Per 36 is only like 10. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, he's not a box score guy, bro. I noticed that about Mitch. He's not really a box score guy. So those numbers not gonna wow you, but his advanced statistics is ridiculous. Like his PER is second behind Luka. Win shares is third in that draft class behind Luka and DeAndre Ayton. So it's something there,
he fills whatever the coach role the coach gives him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's a good finisher. Like guys tend to throw up the bailout alley-oops to him and stuff. He sets good picks. He fills a lane. He plays defense. He plays hard. You know what I'm saying? So he has strength to the lineup. All these different things, man. But like what price tag do you put on that? You know what I'm saying? Because there's plenty of players in the league that do what he does and actually get the box score stuff too.
So let me turn my camera off real quick so I could go to this list that I got since we're speaking about bigs and what's his price tag. So I looked at the free agency list. And I only seen 4 bigs right now that I would personally like the Knicks to look at. And it's Harry Giles, Willie Cauley-Stein, Zach Collins, and Dwight Howard. Now, how much am I willing to pay those guys? While I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking about how much would I want to pay Mitch. So for me, the price tag on Mitch for me starts at $10 million. I think I wouldn't offer him less than $10 million. I feel like that's a slap in his face. And also, you trying to take care of him. We haven't re-signed a rookie since 1994, Charlie Ward. It would behoove the Knicks to want to take care of Mitch, even though we haven't seen a lot on the court yet. And when I say seeing, I'm talking about like offensive growth. Like he still hasn't taken a jump shot. He still hasn't done a jump hook. Like little stuff like that. I feel like he'll progress on that. And he looked like a hard worker. So for me, 4-year, $40 million. 4-year, what's that? 12, 20, 4-year, $48 million. 4-year, $48 million with incentives, it goes up to $60 million. Something like that.
Jesus. That's a lot to me, man. You know what I'm saying? For because I mean, like if you're gonna pay a guy like money like that, I feel like he needs to like you gotta be able to at least give him the ball. He should be able to do something with it.
Yeah. Yo, man.
That's all my only gripe really with Mitch Robinson. I agree he does have value, but it's the same situation with like a Frank. Frank Ntilikina is the same type of thing. It's like I know what we think that he can do, but he hasn't really done it yet. So do you pay him again the same kind of contract just to keep him around for the event where he eventually does what he's supposed to do?
Yeah, I'm thinking guys like, and it's crazy for me to say, but I'm thinking guys like Mitch, Frank, Knox. You're not gonna really see those guys until they second contract. So like you're not gonna really see the real Mitchell Robinson until he's like 24. Not gonna see the real Frank until he's probably like 24. Knox, you're not gonna see him. The real Kevin Knox, you probably might not see him until he's 22, 23. He's 21 right now. So I think I'm just banking on growth. I'm banking on growth, the player developmental staff, and everything that's happening behind the scenes. I think we gotta pay for that. I don't see a free agent big on the market besides Dwight. Probably Rashard Holmes, but I don't really want Rashard Holmes. I'd rather pay Mitch. You going Rashard Holmes on the open market going cost like $10 million per year too.
Right.
So,
Yeah, but at least you can give him the ball and he can give you some points. He can actually create some points and still give you the blocks and rebounds. Same blocks and same rebounds that Mitch gives.
that's true. He can. He definitely can. He do got a little jump hook, little. I don't know. It's tough, man. That offense in today's NBA has skewed so many contracts, man. Rudy Gobert is like an outlier. Like he damn sure better thank his agent for that contract, because I would never pay a non-shooting big $200 million or whatever he got.
Yeah, but he brings the same intangibles that Mitch does, man. So it's almost like a catch-22. You know what I'm saying? Because you want the guy because he's gonna do his job. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what you need. You just need the guys to play the position and do their job. So Mitchell Robinson, when he's here, he does do his job. You know what I'm saying? So, but you do like this what you were saying before we started this. With the whole preparation is like backup bigs. You know what I'm saying? So like what do we do with that? Because let's say if we keep Mitchell Robinson, we don't have to give him an extension this year because he's still on the contract. So, I mean, you got guys like Laurie Marketing out there. You know what I'm saying, that you could throw money at. Couple other weirdos like what do you call Olenek. Olenek is another
Kelly
guy.
Oubre, yeah. Floor
Yeah.
spacer, tough. He played with RJ Barrett on the Canadian team. Him and RJ Barrett got rapport. So that could be another little secret pickup that the Knicks could get. Zach Collins from Portland. Portland got two bigs, Zach Collins and Harry Giles. Zach Collins was hurt last season, and Portland might not bring him back. So I think that's a guy we could buy low on. Who could help us. And Harry Giles, another guy, former number one recruit in the nation who went to Duke, Harry Giles. This guy is 22 going on 23 years old. So that's another guy I think we could look at for the backup big. Not too pricey. Yeah, my thing is I don't want a guy who got an ego. I want a guy who's going to come in and fit with the culture and who got a chip on their shoulder. So a guy like Harry Giles definitely it would be one of the prime targets if I'm looking at like a backup big who's not going to cost too much, who's still young, still 22, 23.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to be very careful with all that. I think we talked about that on the last pod. We kind of need to get guys that Tom Thibodeau can rein in. You know what I'm saying? Because Tom Thibodeau needs to be in control. So if you got guys that got big egos, that's definitely not going to fit in what we're trying to do here.
Yeah,
Tom Thibodeau wants soldiers.
I'm gonna give you an analogy. I was watching Justice League the other day, and Tom Thibodeau reminds me of Lex Luthor when he finally got the Legion of Doom together, because he wants control. Like, he wants to control the narrative. he wants to send troops where he wants to send them. So a coach like that, you can't Kenny Atkinson, Tom Thibodeau,
Right.
like how Kyrie did Kenny. You can't do that at the time. So you got to get some guys who don't have egos, who's not going to come in and do what the hell they want. Guys who's going to vibe, play hard. Here's my list. So I could show
There's a
you
couple
some.
guys, man. There's a lot of guys all over the spectrum too, man. We can do the same thing like we've been doing. Nerlens Noel only cost us $5 million. They got like Daniel
Yep.
Thies, whatever his name is, from Chicago. There's a couple like weirdo names that we could throw out there, just in case,
Yeah, and speaking of Thesis, he's a hard-nosed player. I like him a lot. Hard-nosed. We need more players like that. Guys who's gonna do the dirty work.
And
I'm
just give
looking
us
at
something a little extra too,
Yep. And I'm looking at it. Willie Cauley-Stein is another guy I think the Knicks should look at too. Who has been a part of the Kentucky program. Kenny Payne, that's his guy. I think that's another guy we could look to pick up for the low. Georgie Dang.
Yeah, Georgie Dang.
Georgie Dang, a Tibbs guy, notable that we could definitely pick up. And he played well for the Spurs. I was watching him in the play-in, and he was giving them good minutes, blocking shots, rebounding, just sticking to his role. And
he can shoot too, man. He can shoot that three and stuff, man. So that's like if you're gonna have Mitchell Robinson hasn't shown the ability to shoot yet. So if we do get him like another backup, if we don't go with Nerlens, we need somebody that's gonna give us a little bit something on offense, something.
Yeah. Like let me ask you this: so you don't want redundancy on the roster, basically?
You got to have some kind of fluidity. You know what I'm saying? So because Mitchell Robinson right now he broke his foot. So he's gonna have like these little knick-knack injuries here and there. Like basically workhorse injuries. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta have somebody off the bench that's gonna be serviceable for you to use. Like we can't keep Pell. Pell, I don't think is gonna be one of those guys that we're gonna be able to actually use. Montrezl Harrell is another guy. But there's a bunch of different guys that we could throw money at. That's not that can help strengthen the roster.
Yeah, I totally forgot about Montrez. The only issue with Montrez, he's just not tall enough.
Yeah, he's like 6'8", I think, and he got him playing center.
And listen, I already deal with Julius Randle, so I really don't want to deal with Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah,
I'm kind of good on him.
This kid, Jared Allen, they're probably gonna keep him though. But Cleveland, they got so many bigs over there, man. I think they still do they still have the other cat, the dude who was in, or was he on Boston? The Kardashian guy.
Nah, he's out of there.
Okay. They still got Love too. So they got money over there. Tied up in the center spot for no freaking reason.
Yeah, Cleveland is, oh God, they need a trade so bad. Like their roster just in flux, and it's so crazy. Like, how come every other team in the NBA got multiple point guards and Knicks don't have one? They got two.
Yeah, I feel like every single team got like multiple point guards. It's bugged out. Like we were just talking about the Hawks and the 76ers. They got freaking Curry. They got Milton could play point guard. They got George Hill is over there. They got Maxey. So many different guards over there. Even guys that that was that TJ whatever the guys. I think he
McConnell.
Yeah, he's in Indiana, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's another guy that used to be on Philly. You guys, the Hawks, they got of course, Trae Young.
Perda, Bogey.
Yeah.
And they got a couple guys who can handle the ball. And that's how I want the Knicks to be made too. Like, I want multiple ball handlers. I don't think listen, we're not winning nothing with Julius Randle bringing up the ball in the playoffs.
But that's the main problem too, man. Because if you want to talk about offense and stuff like that, Tom Thibodeau, that's the offense. It started off with Fizdale, and he just kind of just piggybacked on it and just allowing Randle just to, because Randle does have a talent though. That talent, that nobody, there's not really a lot of bigs that could do what he does. Dribbling the basketball, man. So it is a weapon to have. You know what I'm saying? But so we already established the way that we want to play. We're 41-31. So the chances are we're gonna start the season off with the same offense. You know what I'm saying? So how do we add to that? Or if we decide to change it, is Tom Thibodeau gonna be able to rock with that decision?
Yeah, because a couple stats. I think we was last in pace last season. Bottom 5 in assists. Thibodeau, and another good stat too that just came to my mind. We was first in the league last year in ISOs. So
yeah, I was surprised by that stat a little bit.
I was too, and you got to think Tibbs he runs a mini triangle offense, so I could understand why that stat matches with Tibbs running that type of offense, because the triangle offense is a read and react type of offense. If you want to go ISO, you can. It's a free-flowing offense, but if you want to go ISO, you can. And you see what Julius Randle did a lot, or RJ Barrett, or Alfred Payton, and those guys. So getting guys who fit Tibbs' system to a T is definitely needed. And I think that's when we could hop on to the next, segment of off guards. Because I think off guards is definitely needed in this equation. So do you have any off guards off the top of your head? Because I got a few in my phone. So I wanted to see, do you have any?
Not really, man. Of course, you got Victor Oladipo, the guy that's he's like Mr. Glass. He's always going to be freaking hurt, so you can't rely on him. And then you got your favorite player, DeMar DeRozan. The DeMar DeRozan, he can't shoot the three, but he could score, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't really guard him one-on-one. You have to double team him, and he's been giving you 7.2 assists, the last couple seasons, man. So he's starting to pass the ball. So if you're gonna have an offense that's gonna be making reads and stuff like that, and if you're gonna have guys stuck on an island going one-on-one, DeMar DeRozan is gonna be a perfect guy to have sitting on that island going one-on-one.
Yep. And shout outs to DeMar DeRozan, because the guy averaged a career high this year, 7 assists, and he played well, and I give DeMar that. But DeMar is nowhere near a choice for me for the Knicks, and nothing against him, but he's just going to occupy the space that Randle and RJ usually occupies. Now, I'm going to throw some names at you, and I want to hear your take on some of these names. Now, Victor Oladipo, the only reason why I got him here is I feel like we can take a chance on him, and we could sit him, basically offer him a 2-year deal, $10 million. You sit him for 1 year, right? Then you got a guy basically who's a former All-Star for $5 million in 2022, who nobody spoke about for a year straight. And then you say, boom, just drop him in the rotation. He has no pressure in order to get himself back together, because RJ Barrett is going to be good. Randle, Obi, quickly, if all those guys is here, they're going to be good. So Victor Oladipo, if we want to bring him into the system, to the culture, get him right, get his body together. I don't know what the hell I think he got a baseball injury or a football injury. That's how bad his injury is. But for sure, if I'm the Knicks, I would definitely try to look at Victor Oladipo for the low. But these 3 other names, though, I want to hear your take on. I got Malik Monk, I got Hamidou Diallo, and I got Josh Hart.
Those are all big names there, but they all come with problems though, because Monk is supposed to be a crackhead, man. He was he got caught for coke. He got caught for performance enhancing drugs, and he got caught for coke, man. So Monk is kind of like a red flag there, man. So we got to make sure that there's a lot of baggage. So we got to make sure that he's clean, that he's not gonna be, because if he gets caught again, he's gonna get suspended for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely don't need that. And then what some of the other names you said? Diamond Diallo. I think Diallo has like the biggest like burst, like because like if he finally like figures out how good he is, man, he's gonna be really really good because he's already super athletic. He's starting to develop a lot of like in between stuff. You know what I'm saying? So if he could put all that together, he'll be like basically DeMar DeRozan. With a probably with a better 3-point shot maybe.
Yo, Hami is he's such a buy low candidate that I think the Knicks should definitely look at. Because you don't know, like, all these guys is young. Like, Hami, young. Josh Hart, young. Malik Monk, young. Malik Monk, the reason why I said Malik Monk is because he's going to be around family. So what I mean by that is he's going to be around Kenny Payne. He's going to be around Johnny O. He's going to be around Ted. I don't think our vet leadership would allow him to do those type of things.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
Yeah, but if you're doing coke, man, coke is like something that you do like in the shadows, really. Like the only people that really do coke out in the open is like rich people. You know what I'm saying? They just pull it out. Hey, what's going on? Let's do some coke, guys. It's like kind of bugged out.
Yeah, but let me just defend him here, right? Let me defend him here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he had some issues behind the scenes, right? Me and you, we both from New York. We know how this place goes. We see it on the street every day when you go outside. Everybody be having mental disabilities. Everybody's struggling. Maybe he was going through something at the time. He said, "The hell with it. I'm a Tony Montana for about 2 months." And the NBA caught on, suspended him, and maybe now he's just taking his craft more seriously. I remember seeing, I don't know where this interview is, but I'm gonna find it for you. I remember seeing an interview with Malik Monk, and they was talking to him when I think he just came back off an injury, and he was balling. He was averaging like 18 points a game. He was balling for like a month straight. So they interviewed him. They asked him like, what clicked? Like, what happened? Like, why are you playing so well? And Malik Monk just basically said, I started taking my craft more seriously. I started taking the game more seriously. And that's stuff that I want to hear from a guy like that, because that performance enhancement, whatever he was taking, man, that.
Yeah, that shit took him to another level. He was balling, not for nothing, man. He was hitting his jump shots. He was back jumping again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So he is a dynamic player, man. So, but he's definitely somebody that you're not going to be giving up the whole bank for, because I don't think he's going to have too much of a big market because of those problems. You know what I'm saying? So, and then, the Knicks got the Kentucky connection, so I could see Monk coming here, for like the low for the most part. But somebody like Monk, I would rather have Monk than Oladipo, because you're talking about Oladipo. Where you gonna put him in a hyperbaric chamber or something? You're gonna lock him in an ice bath, or put him like Captain America, put him in the machine or something? Have him bubble wrap for real, man, so he don't hurt himself.
Nah, go put him on ice, man. That's all, man. Put him on ice for a year, and then see if you got something there in 2022. Monk. See, Monk is funny, because you want to bank on a guy like that, because you don't know where his ceiling is at. Like we can sit here and say, Monk could be the 7th man off our bench. We can sit here and say Monk could be our 6th man, or we can sit here and really get crazy. Let me take a shot of this, and we could say Monk could be our starting shooting guard, and RJ Barrett could be the starting small forward. Now,
right.
We got Tibbs. So I'm looking at all these dudes, and I'm thinking about Tibbs. This is specifically for Tibbs. I don't think Monk could do that foolishness in New York, man. Nah, dog.
Yeah, I can see us signing him, and then Monk just sitting on the bench right next to whoever else is there. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna play the guys that he trusts or whatever, man. So it is with that. But it's another thing too, man. Say quickly. What is quickly? Because I mean, we kind of everybody just writing them off to be like the Lou Williams type of thing. You know what I'm saying? But you know, things change. You know, the training and stuff like that throughout the summer. He can actually evolve into a Malik Monk. You know, for whatever he does. You know, because they're about the same height. Malik Monk isn't tall. Malik Monk is like 6'3", just like Quickly. You know, so Quickly could evolve into a shooting guard. You know, because say like a Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell's only like 6'2". You know, so Quickly could evolve into like a shooting guard type of thing. But you know, like I said, everyone boxes him in. So like, nah, I like him better off the bench. But as he's still a young career, you can't just like say that's the only place where he could be. So the answer, you know, could also be on our bench too.
Yep. Man, yo, speaking of that, bro, like boxing our players in, bro, like people kill me when they do that to our players, bro. Like what you just said, but Quickly. You know how many times I see per day on Twitter, Quickly ain't a starting point guard. He's Lou Williams. He's this. He's that. Whoa. I've been watching ball for about 21 years now. I done seen point guards or guards who did not average 11 points in their rookie season go on to become all-stars. so I can't really box Quickly in that little Lou Williams segment yet. Year 4 is usually when you see it. So we know we still don't know. Like all of us is just guessing right now. Like year 4 and year 5 is usually when it clicks. So Quickly, but hey, who knows? He didn't have summer league last season and he didn't have a training camp. Yeah, mess around, come in next season, be the starting point guard. And people wondering all summer, yo, why the Knicks didn't get a point guard in free agency? Yo, why the Knicks didn't do this? Why blah 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 blah? Why blah blah? Quickly's the starting point guard. Like you never know.
Yeah, I mean, because it comes down to like him just developing certain things. Like he only has the floater and the 3-point shot. You know, so if he adds another thing to it, like every offseason, basketball player should add something, no matter what level of play you are. So
Yep.
what if he adds like a little bit of finishing outside of the floater? What if he learns to pull up, you know, instead of doing that floater all the time? Then that adds a whole different dynamic to his game. You know.
Yeah. Quickly could be a dynamic player. But Quickly just gotta Quickly gotta ask himself. He's gonna really have to have a conversation with himself in the mirror and really ask himself, like, what can I be? Like, who can I be? Can I be a star point guard? If he wants to be a star point guard, he got to get his handle and his playmaking up. He want to be a star 6-man? Get your shooting up. Get your strength up so you can always go to the basket and get free throws. Like Quickly kills me, and I hope he doesn't do what Kevin Knox did. So Kevin Knox used to shoot the floater a lot in his rookie season, and I haven't seen it since. So I hope Quickly doesn't change his game to the point where I don't see the floater no more. I think he needs to just grow on that. He could probably be the starting point guard. You never know. That's why I'm looking at guys like Malik Monk and those guys, looking at off guards to see, you know, who else could we bring here? Because it ain't set in stone that Derrick Rose gonna come back. Right. Or Taj Gibson. Taj might retire. Taj might be on Tibbs' staff by the end of the summer. So we just got to keep all options open here.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Diallo too, because Diallo has a size and a length. So if we're gonna talk about doubling down on the defense and that type of thing, and also getting somebody that you can kind of control, Diallo's number one, man. Because I mean, he is from Queens. I think he's what I guess you want to call that
left rack.
Yeah, left rack. Yeah, that's like left rack over there. Yeah. Yeah, so he's from Left Rack and stuff, man. So he's definitely a New York native. So he might be, he's a free agent, so he might be intrigued to come here, man. Especially to play. That's another thing too. Like the young guys see what's going on, and it might be something they might want to be a part of. Right. Especially like his family might be in his ear too. So this might be the spot you should go to. So Diallo, I'm circling Diallo for somebody that we can bring on.
Yeah. The more I think about it, the more I really want him here. He's from New York. He know what we want to see.
Yeah.
I say that.
He's a good kid too, you know?
Yeah. Good kid, doesn't get in trouble. You know, it aligns with, you know, our young boys. The one thing I would say about the Knicks show, even though, you know, they probably they did mess up 2017 draft. We not even gonna go there. They messed up. I watched too much Donovan Mitchell for me to know, like, we messed up.
Yeah.
So 2017, 2018, I'll say this about the Knicks kids. We draft some high character guys. And salute to Frank and Knox, because I'm gonna give you an example. I watched Alfred Payton moms share a tweet about the Knicks losing. I watched her like tweets about, I hope Trae Young scores 50 after her son got benched. I never seen Frank moms do that. Shit. Remember when Frank flew his moms from France and David Fisdale sat him on Christmas Day? Are you kidding me?
That was some sad shit. I'm thinking about it. That was some sad shit, man. I don't know why Fisdale did that to him, man. That was fucked up. You know how long that flight is? You can't like understate that, man. You know how long that flight is from France to New York? It's like, God damn, you a cold-hearted motherfucker.
Cold-hearted dude, man. Cold. And then Kevin Knox, he getting DMPs left and right all year long. And none of his folks said anything. So that type of stuff is I don't need that here. And Jaime would know that. So I think Jaime would be a great low risk, high reward type of move. I'm gonna be real with you, like, and I know we're gonna get to the swingman next. I really want to see Kevin Knox play next season, bro. Like, I really want to see him play next season, bro. Like, I think about it all the time.
I know you do, man. Kevin Knox is always on your mind, man. But like, the same thing you said about Quickly, where like Quickly has to like develop and has to want to be there. That applies to Kevin Knox too. And Kevin Knox, next year will be his his fourth season.
Fourth season, yep.
You know, so I mean, like, as long as you're on your rookie contract, you still got a chance to do whatever. But look at this league. Diallo has a potential to leave his team. You know, Hart is a young guy too. He has a potential to leave his team again. You know, this is not his first team. I think he started with LA, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Monk is potentially going to leave his team too. So you know, young guys don't always stay with the team, and they don't have to. You know, they can find another team to try to finally get there. You know, get to the next level, or whatever, man. So. You know, me personally, I'm over Knox. You know, I feel like he is the key. He's the guy that if he would get his potential, then we wouldn't need to look nowhere else. You know what I'm saying? Because he has the height, he has the athleticism, he has the ball handling, he has a jump shot. So I'm trying to figure out what the hell is his problem. You know what I'm saying? But that's his problem. You know, like he doesn't have the mom that's doing the tweeting and nothing like that. But maybe he does. Maybe he does need that crazy mom to say, "Yo, baby, you better get out there and play like you know how to play, boy." You know, he needs something. You know, I just don't get it, man. You know, same thing with Frank. But you know, shout out to Andy. Andy made the point that these European guys, like a lot of them, it's just a culture thing. You know what I'm saying? So like the way that they play, it's like the coach got to tell them what to do. Okay, you need me to go to the corner? You know, so he goes to the corners. Okay, I'm gonna shoot threes. That's why he's shooting like 40 something. You know, or like whatever, 100% from the corner three. You know what I'm saying? But then he can't shoot a layup. You know what I'm saying? He can't make a wide open layup, but he can shoot a wide open corner three because that's what the coach said that he needs to do. You know?
Yo, man, shout outs to Frank, man. I hope they resign you, King.
I hope not, man.
so let on Kevin Knox real quick.
Yeah.
So I think the Knicks got a plan for him. And I'm going to just assume like I got the time stone. So this is just all assumption. Look, Knox is gone. Knox getting traded. Knox a playground boy. I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assume this about Kevin Knox. Chat, please don't kill me. Please. I think the Knicks management had a plan for him this season. I think the plan wasn't for him playing. I think the plan was to reconstruct this kid. You gotta understand. We all been to elementary school, middle school, high school. What the hell are you gonna learn from a dumb teacher? You know, you had David Fizdale, you got Keith Smart. You know, he was given token minutes his rookie year that he didn't deserve, by the way, but he still gave me 13 points, 5 rebounds. So he needed a season off. He needed to watch how basketball is played. So you got to watch a guy like Bullock. You got to watch a guy like Burks for a year. Like, he watched these two dudes for a year. So my thinking is the Knicks is going into this offseason with Knox penciled in as the backup small forward. And we're looking for a starting small forward. This is just me with the time stone real quick. So Knox is the backup small forward. We signed a starting small forward, and we'll see from there. Now, if Knox don't show nothing by trade deadline, now you can move him. You get
I'm
what
with that.
saying?
I'm with that.
And you have a starting small forward that we're about to talk about, and you don't really got to worry about, oh, well, we failed Knox. Well, we got a guy in free agency who's obviously producing. If Knox not producing behind that guy, then we could definitely move on from him, and we could leave it at that. But I feel like that's a correct plan that you do for a player like that. Young players around the league look at stuff like that. Like, he got DNP'd the whole season for 1 year vet Mercs. So to me, it's obvious you got a plan for him. You didn't trade him at the trade deadline, so I'm assuming that he's going to play next season. That's just me. How you feel about that?
Yeah, I agree with that. Just to double down, because I mean, like you said, we got the these 1 year Mercs. Kevin Knox, you got to sit and watch Bullock.
Yes.
That's on you. You know what I'm saying? You didn't prepare for it. Here's the thing too. Like you can't learn from a stupid teacher. But if you want to get your education, you got to find it somewhere else. There's plenty of kids out there that they go to public school, but then their parents got them in other stuff too. Outside of school. It's not this that their parents got them into it. The kids want it because the kids are just crazy like that. Somebody like Kobe Bryant is going to be, instead of out there in the clubs doing whatever, he's going to be in the out there in the gym shooting. You're going to be shooting in the gym. That's what he taught Julius Randle and stuff like that. So some people are just different. Some people just get it. Like shout out to Trey Young too. Trey Young, they're saying fuck Trey Young and this, all this and the other. None of that fazed him. Then you look at his dad. His dad is right in the mix of everybody is saying fuck your son, and he's not on Twitter saying nothing. He just got his eyes on the son, making eye contact, pointing at him. They pointing at each other because that's something that they prepare for their whole life to get there. You know what I'm saying? So people just different, man. Some people just got it, some people don't. But like, I totally agree with you saying though about the Kevin Knox thing. Because it's just smart. Like you put Bullock here. Bullock has all his life experience. His both his sisters got murdered. So it's like go out and watch this guy. He all this tragedy that he's been through. Look at him still out there playing. So he gets to pick his brain and talk and this, that, and the other. So Kevin Knox, I don't know nothing about his life, but he's young. He's young for like a 1 year player coming out of college. He's young. He's like a year behind everybody. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't know anything about life. So, being around all these different guys, learning how to be a man and just watching men do things, that's definitely a big plus for Kevin Knox. So I get it. I totally get that.
Yo, that is such an underrated. That was so underrated what you just said about Reggie Bullock, and I never even looked at it from that angle. About both of his sisters passing away. The LGBT, whatever it's called, that situation. Bullock was drafted by the Clippers, and he's a journeyman. Still has a job in the NBA. Still a great vet, great person. Never writes nothing crazy on Twitter. He supports the young players. You see how young players interact with him. Watch a guy like Bullock for a season, and study what he do on and off the court. You need guys like that. Watch a guy like Alec Burks, who I hated Alec Burks. I do not want that man back in the team.
Yeah,
For the record.
I got you.
The 99-cent James Harden role that he had last season, I don't want to see it again. But when you watch Alec Burks, you can look at him and be like, that's a dog right there. That he's a dog. He got his handle. His handle was he worked on his handle, worked on his jump shot, worked on his 3-point shot, and he became king of the fourth. That's what a lot of Knicks fans we was calling him, king of the fourth. And it's plays, for example, I'm gonna give you an example. When Burks is coming off the pick and roll, what he doing? Dog.
He's shooting that thing, man. You know what I'm saying? He's shooting that thing. But that's the thing with Burke. He has a bag. You know what I'm saying? That's the like the number one thing with a basketball player. The number one thing you got to have your own bag. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're all alone, you know, shooting around, even going to the neighborhood park, you get your basketball. Everybody got a routine. Everybody got a bag. If you start playing 21, you got your different moves that you go to and stuff like that. So you got to have your bag. Outside of the bag, then you're learning systems. You're learning how to play with professional players. That's something else that you learn along the line. But you got to have a bag. You know what I'm saying? So, I just, I don't know. I just wish these guys would figure it out because then it would just take the stress away from us, and we won't have to keep freaking arguing and fighting and battling every single day, over this stuff.
Yeah, I done had people write me on Twitter who says stuff like, the Knicks are down to the Hawks 3-1, and the reason why we down 3-1 is because the 2017 draft pick and the 2018 draft picks we drafted in the lottery are draft busts. That's how far we've come. We're blaming guys who don't play for the reason why we lost in the playoffs. So, I really wish those guys can produce next season. Probably not Frank. Frank, have a good life, man. It was nice rooting for you.
God bless you. You know what I'm saying?
God bless you, brother.
Because
he might be on his way out. Go ahead.
Well, somebody mentioned here, Hinton Murphy. He was saying that Hart would be a best get. I didn't realize that Hart upgraded his rebounding. He's been rebounding pretty good. So I mean, like, if you're gonna give say like you mentioned Oladipo, you want to give him money just so he could sit a year, or if you wanna give Frank a make good contract or whatever, why not just give it to Hart? If you want that particular production from a player, just give it to somebody that you don't have to plug him up and charge him up for a year, or Frank needs to learn, I don't know. He needs to get his I don't know, just so they can respect his mom when she flies over. It's like crazy, man. Just bring in a guy that's gonna produce. Save the money for real players, guys that are really gonna get minutes.
So Josh Hart, it's crazy. I woke up today and I see the Josh Hart propaganda starting to the Knicks. I see it all over.
Yeah, and, propaganda.
Josh Hart is an interesting player to me. Very interesting. I watched the interview. Shout out to my guy Kevin on Twitter. All right, huge Raptors fan, huge Knicks fan. Always interact with this guy. Good dude. And he shared a video of Josh Hart talking with Kyle Lowry, and I forgot who else they was talking to. And they was talking about Thibodeau. And Josh Hart, and the guy asked Josh Hart, who's one of the coaches you will go to battle with? So Josh Hart said Thibodeau. And then Kyle Lowry chimes in, and he was like, yeah, man, I love Tibbs, bro. I love Tibbs. And it looked genuine. Like, it didn't look fake. It didn't look like they was lying. Because you could tell when somebody lying in an interview. You could tell by the way their mannerisms is, the way their facial expression is. It looked genuine. And Josh Hart has gotten, his second season, he plateaued and he averaged, 10 points. But his last two seasons, His third season, he plateaued at 10 points. Now, his fourth season, he had a setback, right? Because he got hurt. And his coach is just trash. Stan Van Gundy played Lonzo at shooting guard, and he butchered Josh Hart's development. I don't know what the hell was happening with Josh Hart over there. And then I seen another post today where it says Josh Hart would like a fresh start. So, what would you like Josh Hart here? And to piggyback off that question, what's your price tag for Josh Hart? I'm interested in know that.
You know, Josh Hart, he's just gonna be like at the moment. You know, he's gonna be just he's gonna be just one of those guys. Like I'm trying to think of some of these players that are out there. Guys that just been around the league forever. They bounce around from team to team, but they always put up the same numbers for every single team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he's gonna be one of those guys. But what surprises me though is these rebounds, because even though he's been hurt, whatever you mentioned that his points didn't really bounce like it should. But look at the rebounds, man. 6.5 in that third year, and freaking 8 rebounds from a well, they got him listed as small forward, but he's short, too short for a small forward. He's 6'5".
He's about 6'5".
Yeah.
He averaged 8 rebounds?
Yeah, 8 rebounds a game. That bugs me out a little.
Whoa.
So I mean, if you're getting that type of production from the guard, from the wing guy, for 8 rebounds, that's pretty good. That's a good asset. Because I mean, then you can cheat a little bit. If you know that Josh Hart is going to be crashing the boards, getting 8 rebounds, then you can cheat a little bit at at different times by throwing them out there, helping out the rebound. And another thing too, I like the 2-point percentage. The 2-point percentage and the field goal efficiency. It's at 58 and 53. So he's going to score, mid range. And he's definitely going to finish his layups and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So that's something to think about. His 3-point percentage is not really the best. It's adequate, I guess. 34% for his career. That's adequate. But we're getting him to be like a backup, not necessarily to be like your star shooting guard.
Now hold on, player. How old is Josh Hart?
Yeah, he got some age on him. I think he's like, let me see. I think he's like 26. Yeah, he'll be 26. No, he is 26.
26, and he'll be turning 27 next season. Why? Let me ask you this. See, a guy like Josh Hart, I would love Josh Hart. So it wouldn't be realistic if we got Josh Hart and Lonzo Ball from the Pelicans, unless we do a sign and trade with both of them. So I'm going to just say for Josh Hart, for instance, who would fit nice let's just say if Thibodeau was to start Josh Hart and RJ Barrett, who would fit nice next to those two? Colin Sexton.
Yeah, that's our guy, man. I think me and you both agree with the Colin Sexton thing.
He would fit so lovely next to those two. But sticking with Josh Hart though, versatile player, 8 rebounds. Like, woof. I didn't know that. So that was a great find by you. Shout outs to you, Eru.
Well, he only made like 3 million, 3.5. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I guess maybe to get him up to 5 or 6 million a year. I don't think he's good enough or shown that he's worth 10 million a year. You know what I'm saying? So if he was to get him, it wouldn't be. I don't think it would be such a huge contract.
So
for Josh Hart,
for me, I would gladly offer him a 3-year, $24 million contract. Off rip.
Damn, man, you love commitment, man.
Listen.
You're not afraid of commitment.
I'm at the age where you got to commit. And I watch the Knicks. I hate when I always got to tell you this, bro. Like, Scott Layden, Isaiah Thomas, like Scott Perry, Phil Jackson. I'm done with the 1-year Merc thing. I'm done giving out contracts to older guys who have injury history. I'm done. I want stability. Yeah. I want stability with younger players. So if I get a guy like Josh Hart or if I get a guy like Colin Sexton, I'm absolutely offering these guys 3 to 4 years. Absolutely. Absolutely. When you give out 1-year contracts, it breeds selfishness. it naturally just does, because you don't know where you're gonna land next, and you're playing for your family. Like, you're playing for your next paycheck. You're not playing like comfortable. Like, your paycheck is always in the back of your mind. So that's the reason why I would like Josh Hart for a couple of years and not just 1 year. And I'm just over the 1 year contract thing, man. Shout out to Alfred Payton.
Yeah, I get you, man. But we talked about it before. It's like, we had to do it in stages, and like in the beginning, we was getting Bill, I was gonna say Bill Wellington, freaking Wayne Ellington, and those bums of the world. We went and got Dennis Smith Jr. All these guys were bums. Now the next level, Reggie Bullock is a little bit more tough, a little bit more consistent. Alec Burke a little bit more tough, a little bit more consistent. Now, next year we can get a Hart and throw an extra couple years on there, because Hart is definitely. I keep thinking Kevin Hart. I think I just said it. Did I say Kevin Hart just now?
Nah, you didn't, bro.
Oh, okay. In my mind, I'm thinking Kevin Hart, but Josh Hart is definitely like a little bit better, a better player than like a Bullock or whatever. So like every year we seem to be upgrading the talent level that we can pull from. So that's basically it there, man. The Knicks have been shit. So we can't expect to get anybody. We had cap space for like the last 2 seasons. We weren't able to get anything. But I think this year definitely is going to be way different, guys. We're gonna be pulling from a higher tax bracket this year, man.
Yeah, and it's nice because this is the type of free agency, and I'm just looking at it at a whole. This is the type of free agency where you could pick and pluck guys who's young, who's around the age of like 24 to like 26, who is not really feeling their current situation, who wants a new situation and wouldn't mind coming to the Knicks. It's a bunch of guys in free agency that we could definitely look at. Yo, it's crazy. This been on the back of my mind too. That Lowry marketing comment you put. He's definitely walking from the Bulls.
Well, I think they're kicking his ass out. For some reason, they don't like him, man. I think he burned his bridge back with the Bobby Portis thing. Remember? No, that was a different player. But I mean,
that was a different player.
Yeah, that was that. Where is that guy? He was like a European dude. He's not in the league anymore, right?
Bobby Portis punched them back to Europe, bro.
But I mean, you get what I'm saying. They did have Bobby Portis, whatever, but they chose to keep Laurie Markkinen. They were going to give him the whole shebang, but he just wasn't able to. It was to the point where they had him coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? So that does happen too. Like a guy could be, you have him in a slot already, but he's just not the player that you thought he was going to be, man. So he's not, so you just fall out of favor with him, and then he ends up being free, and then he can end up helping out another team. The guy was Meritic. Thank you, Manny.
Yo, do Larry Markkinen fit next to Julius Randle?
I don't know, man. Markkinen. I'm not a fan of Markkinen, but Markkinen is the same kind of player as an Olenek. Somebody that could shoot the three, he could rebound and stuff like that. Olenek's defense has gotten better as time went on. So.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Lauren Markkinen, he's got to figure that out, because he's going to be able to shoot the three. He's going to be able to do those type of things. But, doing stuff that's going to help you, that's going to help the team, be successful. Because I mean, as long as you're featuring him, like the way that the Bulls play, they always had Markkinen playing up top. If he didn't get the straight up, just pull up jump shot, they will always have him cut into the basket, Or they would have somebody else cutting, and then Laurie will be wide open for the three. So if you play that way and feature him, he'll be able to be successful. But in the way that we play, like reads and stuff like that, he might actually be pretty good, I guess, But
it's crazy because I'm thinking about it. I need to look up his stats about his rim protection. That's what I need to look up. I need to look up his stats about his rim protection because I'm thinking about it. And I watched games where he played the Knicks, for example, against Porzingis, and he outplayed Porzingis. And I'm looking at him like, yo, why is Larry Markkinen outplaying Porzingis? And just looking around the league, I know some Knicks fans might be like, ew, Larry Marketing, like, he stinks. But you got to think, like, he give you an option at center, space in the floor. He's a threat, I'm gonna give you this one too. He played better under the previous coach than Jim Boylan. Jim Boylan had Larry Marketing playing on the block more. And I think that's the reason why his numbers went down. So you see his second year numbers look better than his third year numbers. So his second year, he had a different coach. That coach allowed him to play on the perimeter, right? But Jim Boylan played him on the block. That's not suited for Larry Marketing. So maybe a front court partner like Julius Randle, who could play the block, and Marketing don't really have to worry about playing the block, and he could play his regular game, his natural game, at the three, space on the floor, one dribble, pull up, jump shot. I think that's something we could look at. I never thought about it until just now, but maybe it's something you could look at. He's opposite of Mitchell Robinson. That's the main thing, right? He's the exact opposite of Mitchell Robinson. But if the Knicks handed him, 3 year, what's this, $15 million a year, a 3 year, $45 million contract, I wouldn't be mad at that. He fell out of favor with his former team. He's probably looking for a new team. And the main thing, and I'm going to give it back to you, the Vujicic and Larry Marketing front court combo is disgusting, and it don't work.
Yeah, I mean, even the other guy too, the Zach LaVine. I don't know how Zach LaVine and Vucevic gonna work too, because it's two different styles of play.
Mm-hmm.
Laurie, not Laurie. LaVine, he wants to get on the open court and play. He's an ISO player. He's a ball dominant player. And then you got Vucevic, where once you start going to Vucevic, you got to change everything that you do. So that's one thing we got to be careful too. When we roster building, we got to be careful not to deviate too much from the style of play. Like we can't get one guy where when he's on the court we got to play a certain way, but when he comes off the court, now we got to flip the whole script and play a different way just to get another guy off. That's gonna be just history repeating itself with the Knicks, man.
Yes, sir. And I'm looking at Larry Marketing numbers, and it's crazy. The guy, second year, he averaged 9 rebounds, 1.4 assists, 0.7 steals, 0.6 blocks. Well, that's alarming. 0.6 blocks for a 7-footer. But he averaged about 19 points per game. And then you see when he got up with Jim Boylan, the guy points per game went down to 14.7, and then went down some more to 13.6. So you never know. You never know what the Knicks could conjure up, but he's definitely a guy I think probably the Knicks could look at. I didn't think about it until now, but that was a hell of a random name that you threw out there, Eru.
Yeah, I mean, guys get thrown around this league, man. You don't know how players even got. He's on that team, like wow, how the hell did he get over there? But that's how the NBA goes, man. It's like, like you said, one coach says one thing, the next coach says the next thing. But I mean, his numbers show the talent anyway, man. Because he scored 18 points one year, 14 and 13 the last couple of years. So he could score. The rebound 9 rebounds, and he went to from 9 to 5. I mean, to 9 to 6 to 5. So the talent is there. So it's just all about finding the right situation, the right coach, and the right role for him to succeed or whatever.
Yes, and we get a guy like Marketing. now you got it. I don't know, but I know Tibbs could cook with that. I know he could cook with that. I seen Tibbs. If Tibbs could cook with Alfred Payton and Nerlens, I know he could cook with better basketball players. And shout outs to Paris Duggar. He put Kelly Olynyk, Lowry, and a playmaker like DeRozan or Oubre is what's up. They all play tough ball. True, I like Olynyk, man. I like the foreign prospects in those guys. I like those guys. But let's get right into the swing, man.
Yeah, we haven't said this. We're supposed to be talking about the swingman. We haven't mentioned the swingman yet, man. This is the star of the show here, man. Tsunami Poppy. What the fuck is that? You know when I saw that, I was like, yo, they really call this guy Tsunami Poppy, man. Get the fuck out of Wave Poppy. Like, yo, anything Poppy on your name, man. I'm just not good with that. You know, because I'm half Puerto Rican, man. So it triggers me when I see people call themselves Poppy. You know, or like, you know, hey Poppy. You know, like, yo, man, that's like. That's almost like derogatory to another man to call another dude Poppy. You know what I'm saying? You don't be calling me Poppy. Papa, maybe call me, hey Papa. That's one thing. But hey Poppy, like hey, what the fuck? Like I ain't your baby or you know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here. You know, Tsunami Poppy? What the hell is I was trying to do research before we got in. Like, where the hell does Tsunami Poppy come from?
I don't even know, bro. I don't even know. But I know the lottery marketing thing took us off trails real quick. But yeah, let's get right into the swing, man. You got Kelly Oubre on the screen. A lot of people were talking about him. You know, I've been talking about him lately. Shout out to my guy Legion the Knicks podcast, because he made a video about Kelly owning it that I watched today. And he kind of sold me on Kelly. He kind of sold me on him. Kid 25, plays good defense. He averaged 16 last season, 6 rebounds. He upped his assists a bit, you know, hard-nosed defender. Draymond Green called him the head of the snake on the defense, you know, stuff like that. Pause. Improved a little bit each year. Tough. Will meet the challenge. The guy tries to dunk on people every goddamn play. He blows kisses to the crowd, so you know he's going to be a crowd favorite. But the main thing with Kelly Oubre, his assist rate was garbage his first couple of seasons. He's very ball dominant. And even looking at his career, like look at his assists, man. This is disgusting. His first season, he was at 0.2. You know, he goes to Golden State in a system where passing is paramount and you're always looking for the open man. He still averages 1.3 assists. And I watched plays where he looked off Steph Curry and shot a contested 3. Like, I watched plays where he's done that. So I'm a little worried about the ego, you know, just coming in, trying to prove himself, taking dumb shots, looking off Randall, saying, look, Randall, I got this, big dog. And
I'm still gonna be Poppy, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might be Steph Curry, you know, Splash Bro, but I'm still not be Poppy, Papa. You know what I'm saying? That shot is going up.
Bro, he looked at Curry, bro. He said, man, I got this, big dog. And he shot it. I said, oh, he got nuts.
Yeah, man. Yeah, all those Instagram models in the audience is for the Tsunami Poppy, bro.
Oh man,
you know what I'm saying? So that shot got to go up.
Man, he come to New York, he'll be an all-star. If he play like that in front of fans and the females in the crowd.
Yeah, he gonna be an all-star in 2 leagues if he come to the Knicks with that mindset. But you know, one thing you got to say, man, the guy's confident. You know what I'm saying? So he's not gonna shy away from the moment. He's not gonna you know, I don't want to say that, you know, but you just know that the dude has a certain confidence to him. You know what I'm saying? So he's not gonna be like he's like the anti Kevin Knox.
Yeah. Definitely. And look, that's a guy I would sign and have Knox as his backup. You watch that. You see how he trying to dunk on him every play? You do that. Like, that's a guy you would want Knox to watch to get to just learn aggression. Like, sometimes you gotta ignore Randall. Sometimes you gotta ignore RJ and go get a bucket yourself because they're not having a good game. You need a guy like that. And specifically about Kelly Oubre, he could get his own shot off the dribble. And you see how on Golden State, you know, he shot under 70% from the line. We all know that Oubre started off the season in the slump. Everybody knows that. We all know that. So last season, his percentages is kind of skewed. But he still averaged about 16 points per game. And he still got 6 rebounds, you know. And it's still per game. and he's a hard-nosed defender. And shout outs to my guy Henson Murphy. Oubre is a dog also. Yes, that is correct, sir. He's definitely a dog, and he's 6'7", and he would be a good fit. I think he would benefit RJ more than Randall. I think he would take the pressure off of RJ more. As far as Randall's concerned, Randall would have to change his game a little bit because he would have to understand that Oubre ain't no goddamn bullet. So that man ain't trying to spot a jump shot all day, brother.
Yeah. Like Bullock was literally like this. Just standing there waiting for the ball, waiting for the pass to come to him. Because that's how it was coming. It was gonna come like with Randall making a move and then Randall doing like this. And then Bullock would just be standing there ready to catch. As soon as he catches it, the shot would just go up. Kelly Oubre is gonna do that. But you're gonna have the opportunity to do it instead of him just standing there waiting for the ball to come to him. He might make that cut where instead of having to jump up and throw the ball over his body to swing it to Bullock, now you can drop the bounce pass down to Oubre to get that that bang. You know what I'm saying, inside. That's definitely something that we're missing.
Yep.
From our wings, man. We don't have anybody that can really bounce, get in there. RJ is the guy, but RJ doesn't really do that enough, man.
Nah, not enough. He's not there yet. He's not there. And it's okay. It's okay. Like, we both know RJ is not there yet, but it's okay. Kelly Oubre is there. Still need a little sass on his game. I think he just needs the right coach. I liked him under Steve Kerr because you got him in a winning situation. You got him with a real leader. So now he understands the game and understands the importance of the game. But Kelly Oubre under Thibodeau, that might be something we could look at, man. That might be something we could look at. And also, just for me personally, it would give my boy Kevin Knox an opportunity now. Because now he finally gets an opportunity. If you let Burks and Bullock walk, you sign a guy like Oubre. So now you justify to me, because there's a lot of other fans who probably think like me and who don't think like me, but still will want to see Kevin Knox get a shot. So sign a guy like Oubre. We all know Oubre is the starting small forward. That's not going to be debatable. But you could bring Knox along slowly, and Oubre probably would be on a multi-year contract, so he could be a good trade chip. That's another reason why I would want these guys on multiple year contracts too.
Yeah, but you definitely, like I said, we're gonna be pulling from a different, higher tax bracket, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that idea makes sense. Before, when the people that we were pulling from, there were players that nobody wanted. You know what I'm saying? So now we're picking from a pot that just has better talent. You know what I'm saying? So that concept makes a little bit more sense, man. Because if you got Oubre and say if we was to sign like a Josh Hart, packaging those two guys in there will get you something along with a draft pick. That would get you something. Not Reggie Bullock and I'm gonna put Reggie Bullock and this guy in a hat and I'm gonna go get XYZ player. That doesn't really make sense.
And think about it. Look at those two names you just said. You just said Oubre and Josh Hart. I didn't cringe at that.
It made me feel warm inside a little bit,
Yeah, like I feel a little good because those are the type of guys I'm trying to identify with this Knicks team. You get what I'm saying? Like guys who got chips on their shoulders, who's kind of young. I'm through with the vet thing. I'm through with the old 31-year-old. I'm done with that. I don't want to see. If I see Reggie Bullock starting that small forward next season, dog. Sir, help me, God. I'm like, I
don't think that's gonna happen. I can't see that happening, man. But we mentioned a bunch of cool names too. The Diallo, man. Diallo definitely stands out to me as a guy that could come here. Because we're all painting a picture here. Like say, Kelly Oubre wants people to believe that he's here. You know what I'm saying? Josh Hart wants a role. He wants to be on a team where he feels like that what he's doing is gonna be appreciated.
Yes.
That's basically, so all these guys are going to be hired guns, but they're going to be in a spot where, just like Julius Randle, look, Julius Randle came here with a point to prove in New York that listen, I'm a good player. I want to show the world that I'm a good player. He did do that. So now you add Kelly Oubre. Can Oubre do the same thing? Can Josh Hart come here and do the same thing and show guys, that they belong in this NBA?
Yep.
So and then also too, like coming here with Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau is going to give you that the tools to succeed. And like we mentioned it also that they basically run in the triangle here. So they're going to be making reads and stuff like that. So everyone's going to have an opportunity to score, to get buckets and stuff like that. And then also putting their hat on defense. So the paint, the picture is set pretty much, man. So yeah, I like it, man. I like the idea. Somebody Hadouken just dropped Brunson on there. What do you think about Brunson?
That should not sneaky pickup. Now the starting point guard. I agree with Hadouken. There's a reason why your man over there in Dallas played him 3 minutes in a playoff game.
Yeah,
plain and simple, dog. Like it's a reason for that. And Jalen Brunson, he would be a good pickup too. I wouldn't be mad if the Knicks, got Jalen Brunson. I wouldn't be mad at that. That's a cool pickup. I would prefer for the Knicks to look at Taylor Horton Tucker before they look at a guy like Jalen Brunson.
That's another player too, man.
Yeah. Sneaky player. And think the players that we're talking about, right? A lot of these players is in current situations where they probably can't really flourish yet. And if we could get them here, they could probably flourish. And a lot of them is restricted free agents.
Yeah, definitely. And then we have a space for them because if we look at the Knicks roster, we're gonna get rid of a lot of guys. A lot of guys are gonna be free agents, so there's gonna be space for guys to fit in here, man. And actually have a nice sizable role.
Yeah. That's. I wouldn't be mad at a haul like that. Josh Hart, Kelly Oubre, a couple young guys like that. I wouldn't be mad at that. Or you could go the other route. Let's say Golden State, they in tax hell. Give me Andrew Wiggins and your 14th pick in the NBA draft. And you can have a nice day. So now we got Wiggins, the 14th pick, the 19th pick, the 21st pick, and we package those 3 picks. You move up into the lottery, and now you go get the guy you want. Whoever you identify, you go get the guy you want. Those type of deals is what the Knicks need to look into. I got another name for you. I actually got 3 names for you. I have Justice Winslow. I got Torrey Craig. And I got Keita Bates-Diop. Keita played for Thibodeau. Actually, Thibodeau drafted him when he was a part of the Wolves organization. And Keita is about 6'8", young. I think he's going on 25 now. Another guy who just hasn't realized his talent, or he's just not in the right situation. 6'11" wingspan, defender. I could kind of see why Thibodeau drafted him while he was in Minnesota. So what do you think about those 3 names that I just said to you, as far as us looking at other swingmen?
All right, so you said Winslow, right?
Yep.
I like Winslow. I like Winslow coming in here to take on a role. Coming off the bench and being that kind of guy. I kind of like that. Mm-hmm. He comes from Miami Heat too. He already tasted the way that they play there, the way that they get their bodies together. So he'll bring that to the mix too, man. So that's something that we also got to keep in mind. Also, getting guys that's going to bring not only people that are got something to prove, but somebody that also got that something to bring to the table too. Just to get that whole mix. Because Julius Randle brought the Kobe factor in there. So we got to have guys that are self-made too. Guys that already been through a good system. They know what good basketball is and they know what bad basketball is. Shout out to Memphis because he was also on Memphis too, right?
Yes, I think Memphis was his last team.
Yeah,
and I believe either he got hurt or he just wasn't in their rotation.
Yeah.
So he didn't play in the playoffs.
Yeah, so we definitely got to keep an eye on guys like that that's been through great systems, that has tradition. Memphis has a tradition of playing defense, being scrappy, and that type of team. Miami's the same thing, conditioning wise. All these different things are stuff that stay with you, because you know how to you know how these teams prepare. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna always take that with you, man. So that's something that we definitely got to keep an eye on. But you said Winslow. How do you spell the other guy's name? Keita. I'm trying to get his face.
So Keita is spelled key. Key.
Key.
My fault, y'all. I've been watching too much anime, bro.
Yeah. A B C D F G.
It's Keita Battesdiop.
Okay, I got you. I know the guy now. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yep.
I like him.
I think we can use him. You know, he's not going to command much. Probably like $5 million a year. Still 25. 6'11" wingspan. Just for him specifically, Thibodeau. I want guys who Thibodeau vibes with, who Thibodeau can control, like Ultron. Those guys, like I want those type of guys. I think Keita is another guy we could low risk, high reward type of guy.
Yeah. What was the other player that you mentioned in that group?
And the last player that I mentioned was Torrey Craig. And Torrey Craig right now is playing a wonderful role on the Phoenix Suns. And shout out to the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns rotation right now, their playoff rotation consists of 4 draft picks. You know, D-Book, Mikal, Cam Johnson, Ayton. 3 trades, Chris Paul, you know, 2 free agents. You got what's this guy name, man? Crowder, and I believe it was Torrey Craig who came in free agency. But what I'm getting at is Torrey Craig was a guy that they picked up off the scrap heap, and he's producing. And he got a good role right now on Phoenix, coming off the bench. And he's another guy we could probably look at, give him a 2-year, $12 million. You know, he could probably get better, but he's gonna play within himself. I don't see him doing too much. I'm actually watching the Denver and Suns game right now, and he's not doing too much. He's just playing his role. He's moving the ball. You know, 6'5", 6'6", hard-nosed player. I remember watching him on Denver, and I'm like, yo, who that guy right there? He play hard. He play defense. You know, he play defense. He hustles a lot. So,
yeah, but him playing in Denver, their team was just very like deep, you know. So he got stuck behind them. But I'm looking at it too. He's 30 years old too, you know. So that's something. Because I mean, paying him wise, you probably don't have to pay him nothing. Somebody 30 years old, you know, you probably won't even have to open the checkbook for somebody like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Not to annoy you though, but I would pay Frank before I pay him.
Jesus Christ.
Listen, bro, I don't see the point. I don't see why you let Frank walk. That's just me.
Well, you let Frank because you're gonna sign Hart. You know, you're gonna throw money at Diallo. You already mentioned Monk. There's all these different guys that we mentioned today. Those are the guys I would rather throw money on Winslow. You know, some guys that we're actually gonna use, not somebody that we're gonna hope plays good. You know. You know,
but we hoping they play good too.
Yeah, I know, but we're not Jesse Jackson either, man. We ain't trying to keep hope alive. You know, we trying to win basketball games now. You know, so I mean, there's a whole list of free agent players that we can snag to like, you know, try to help us out rather than throwing extra bucks at Frank Ntilikina that hasn't really been able to put it together, you know, totally together. You know.
Yep. So finally, this last little stretch that we got. You know, I got a couple pictures, a couple guys. So I'm gonna just throw some random names out there for you. Justin Jackson, We got Isaac Bonga, Derrick Jones Jr., Doug McDermott, Stanley Johnson. I really would like for the Knicks to look at Stanley Johnson, by the way. He developed in Toronto, and I don't know, just one of my favorite players watching when he was in college. I really liked Stanley Johnson when he was in college. He was at Arizona, and it seemed like he was going to be a great player. I just don't know what happened. So, you know, it's tough to kind of identify who we really want. Oh, a name that I wanted to talk about. I'm so glad that I read this guy's name. Otto Porter Jr.
Oh yeah, we totally forgot about him.
Totally forgot about Otto Porter Jr. Wow. He played 2 games last season. I didn't notice. I was just before when I was saying I didn't want Otto Porter Jr. It's because I was just thinking about, you know, he's just not that nice. You know, he's not that guy. That's Otto Porter Jr. Like, who the hell is that? But when I, sat down and thought about it, played 2 games last season. He was hurt. Buy low candidate. He's not going to cost much. They're not going to depend on him for much. He's had seasons where he shot the 3-ball well. He's had seasons where he shot from field goal range well. And he's 6'8", tall guy, 27 years old, going on 28. He played for Orlando last season, right? And no, he only played 3 games last season. So
yeah, I think he got hurt when he was on Orlando. I think got hurt.
Yes. So how do you feel about us buying a low on a guy like that? Hasn't played in forever. But if you get him and he's healthy, he could probably help you win some goddamn games. You never know. So how you feel about Otto Porter Jr.?
Well, he's definitely in that next pot. Reggie Bullock was down there. Now we can upgrade into Otto Porter.
Mm-hmm.
You can bring him in to start. You can bring him in just to have him on the roster to be like a spot starter coming off the bench. It's definitely something that we need because like with here's another guy that we haven't talked about either, man. Our own guy. What's his name? Freaking Obi Toppin. Jesus Christ. We don't even know what we got in Obi Toppin, man. So Obi Toppin, we got to keep in mind of him too, man, because I'm expecting him to be somebody coming off the bench, as a mostly power forward, because I don't think he's quick enough to be a small forward. But Obi Toppin, we can kind of pencil him in to just come off the bench and be a super sub. So I'm not one of those guys that I'm not going to sign another guy because I'm afraid of messing up another guy's confidence. Because if you bring better players to the roster, that shouldn't mess you up because you're your own person. You're a man too. So like let's say if we got for instance, let's say if we had Kobe, not even just look across the bridge in Brooklyn. Brooklyn got Kyrie, they got Durant, and they got Harden. None of those guys are looking over their shoulder like, hey man, this guy's taking my shots. No, like I'm gonna get 40, you gonna get 40, and he gonna get 42. Everybody gonna get 40. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't stop none of us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the mentality I would like to have if once we start upgrading this this bench because we got money. There's no big time free agents out there where we're gonna be dropping 30 million on one guy. So we possibly could spread this around where guys are gonna get a lot of guys are gonna get 15. So Otto Porter, I don't know about 15 because he already got his bag already. He already got paid big time already, so he didn't really live up to that contract. So I'm quite sure teams are not going to be throwing him the same money that he earned before. So somebody like him we probably can get for like 10 million a year.
Yo, those is the type of guys, bro, or a guy.
God damn, yo, he was making 27 mil in 2019, 20.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Man, yo, he's the type of player. And this is why I want the Knicks to identify guys like that. He's the type of guy to go to the Lakers with LeBron, and people will remember him again. like he's that type of guy. I don't want to miss out. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to miss out and not pick up one of these guys and we on some damn, yo, we should have got him. And yeah, Paris Duggar, you're correct. Otto Porter can't play defense.
Yeah.
But here's what I challenge you. Is Julius Randle a great defender, or was it the system protecting him?
Yeah, it's more team defense than individual because we're not playing football. Football you need that guy to play his position to cover a certain part of the field.
Yes.
We're not playing 100 yards worth of field. We're playing just within 97 or whatever it is, a couple feet that we're playing in, man. You know what I'm saying? So, as a team, I always make this something. I put my hand on the screen and I do like this. You know what I'm saying? When you're playing NBA defense, this is what you do as a team. Everybody's doing this. If the ball's going this way, guys do this way. Like if a guy drives, everything turns like this. That's defense in the NBA. So I mean, you can hide a guy like Otto Porter that if you think Otto Porter can't play defense, you can hide Otto Porter sometimes. And then also too, if we sign an Otto Porter's not going to be penciled in to be like the go-to guy all of a sudden on offense or like the main plug in the thing. We're not going to stop everything, and just run. Oh, we got Otto Porter. Now everything's going to go through Otto Porter. You know what I'm saying? That this is a team thing. So Otto Porter is just gonna strengthen everything that we do as a team with the whole big 15 stuff, man.
Yes.
The 15 is gonna be even bigger. No rainbow.
and think about it. All the names that we brought up, all of these guys are guys that they don't have high egos. They don't come in with much baggage, probably besides Malik Monk. But I think it'll be minimum in New York. Like, I'm not worried about him with Kenny Payne and those boys. But every player we talked about is a guy who could come in and who could either accept our culture because he know what he's walking into, or he could bring something new to the culture that could breed more positivity and more fun. For full disclosure, before we get out of here, if Kelly Oubre is my starting small forward, I need Colin Sexton as my starting point guard. It's no way I'm going in the next season and I don't got a dog at point guard. We need a dog. I love Lonzo. He would be great on our team, but he's looking like he's going to Chicago because Zach LaVine keep tagging him in every goddamn post.
Yeah, peep time.
Get me a guy who I know for a fact Trae Young gonna have issues with for the next 3 to 4 years. That's all. Yeah.
That's a good segue here too, because I guess we'll end it with what Parrish is saying here. That we didn't force him to go left. Look at Philadelphia; they got individuals that are dictating to making Trae Young do what they want to do. Okay, that's cool. That has to do with what's the name, Doc Rivers, a better coach that's gonna make the adjustments and stuff like that. But you cannot run your basketball team like that. You know what I'm saying? You have to look at it in a bigger picture. You can't just say, hey, we need to put that defender in there just to stop one guy. But it's a team game. So you have to look at it in a team concept. So like you basically did that. Look at the way that Philadelphia is guarding him. It's not the way that one person is guarding him. It's Philadelphia. So we all got to keep that in mind once we're looking at the team going forward. Because we do got to be careful not to get guys that don't typically bring it on defense. But if you get enough guys that play defense, that stuff is going to be contagious.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got the right coach for all
that. We got the perfect coach. That's one thing I can say. Like, we will have our gripes with Tibbs. We'll complain about Tibbs. But the one thing we ain't never got a question with Tibbs, them boys gonna play hard. That's one thing about Tibbs. Maybe Kevin Knox not gonna play hard. but the rest of the boys gonna play hard.
I'm not gonna diss Knox about not playing hard though. The kid is playing hard. He's trying, but I mean something just not clicking for him. But like here's with Boost Mobile. Shout out to you guys, man. We got Parrish, Boost Mobile, Cully. You guys are holding us down in the chat for like the last few Diehard State of Mind podcast. So shout out to you guys, man. But
Yeah,
we need balance on the offense. Players that standing around. No more RJ and Randall. I mean, because RJ and Randall needs help. Bullock and all these guys are just standing around watching these guys do whatever, man. So I mean, you upgrade the talent, and when the ball moves around, better things will happen. Because if you throw it to Bullock is not going to put the ball on the floor and do anything. He's not going to create anything. You give it to Burks, and Burks is gonna do Dollar Tree stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you upgrade these little players that the ball is swinging around, and other things should happen because the freedom is there to make that play. So that's something to think about going forward.
Yo, yeah. I guess that's it.
Yeah, man.
we got
we're getting close to 2 hours here, 1:35.
Yeah.
And I see you pulled out the medication too, man. So I guess it is time to lock this up.
But yeah, this was a good talk, Eru. We needed this talk.
Yeah.
You threw a couple of narratives at me. I'm about to run with on Twitter something crazy.
So I mean that's the thing, man. Like we all got a different opinion about stuff, but once you start talking about it, because I have everybody got their own shit. It could even just come down to to just basic man stuff. Like some guys, they just have their own principles and their own stuff that they go by, whatever. But once you talk it out and just throw different stuff out there, you can actually have a good time. You know what I'm saying? That I think that's what everybody forgets. You got to have a good time. This is not real. This is not real. We're taking a time out of our everyday lives to just talk about something that ain't real. So let's have some fun while we're doing it, man. Stop being so uptight about everything.
People, they be uptight, man. We lost the playoff game because Kevin Knox and Frank Ntilikina is bust. Like, oh my God,
man. The Knicks bench is too close to the air conditioner. You know what I'm saying? So it's keeping Kevin Knox's head too cold, so that's why he can't think straight. Like, man, get out of it. It's like you're going too crazy, man. You're going too crazy.
I'm over it, man. But salute the Knick Nation, man. Salute to you, Eru. Y'all know where to find us, man. Eru, man. Put up the graphic. Player FM, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Alexa, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Podcast, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, Spotify, everywhere. Y'all know where to tune in to find us. Diehard State of Mind, episode 6. I'm out of here, Eru. It's your boy State. Knick Nation, we out of here. Peace.
Peace, man.
Peace.
All right, y'all. That was another episode of Diehard State of Mind. Thank you, panel. I appreciate you guys for coming in. Parrish, Doug, a Boost Mobile, a Hinton Murphy, a couple of other guys in the beginning that was helping out. You got Hadouken, you got a bunch of guys here, man. Just make sure I shout you guys out because I appreciate you guys coming in. You're holding us down. Infamous New King, there's somebody new that I saw. Manny Ramos always pops in. MIG, that's the first time I've seen you in there. Thank you for coming in. Anyway, this has been Diehard State of Mind on the Diehard Knicks podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm tuning in for tomorrow, man. I got a couple things that I would like to do. It's right, the Die Hard hour is about 9 o'clock. When 9 o'clock comes around, check your YouTube, man. You might see me out there talking some shit. So anything, without further ado, man, 4 fingers to the forehead, tucking a thumb, salute. See you guys out there, and I appreciate you, man.